Namaste, angels. Thank you for joining, liking, sharing, subscribing, commenting. Oh, purchasing your readings from me, your energy healing, merchandise, all of that. I do appreciate every last bit of it. This is the bi-weekly reading for the sign of Aries for the period of today, December 4th through December 15th. Aries, you are last but not least. I didn't realize I didn't put up your video yesterday. When I put up the other two fire signs, and that would have completed everything. So you are last but not least, but you're normally first. So I hope that you'll forgive me that this time you are last. We're going to get right into it. Just right away, I can tell you I see fear of moving into the future for you guys. So you have a really nice spread, and you have nice things that are coming for you. And it just looks like there is some nervousness about that. You know, sometimes when our dreams are coming true, when it becomes a reality and we can really see them taking form, we do get scared. We do tend to shrink back. And sometimes when we do that, we can block our own blessings by we manipulate the energy when we do that. But the Nine of Summer, or Cups, says now's the time when your dreams come true. Don't worry about how this will happen. Just give gratitude to God for all that you have and all that's still to come. So even if it's not making sense to you that things seem to be coming together, there's no reason to panic or to think that they're not going to come together, because all signs here show that they indeed are. We have underneath that Nine of Summer or Cups, Major Arcana card 14, Balance, which is Temperance in the traditional tarot, which represents your fellow fire sign, the sign of Sagittarius, and is essentially your energy too in that regard. By merging varying points of view, you can generate an extraordinary new idea, compromise with others, and collaborate to discover a better solution. So temperance for me is about being made whole. And whole, I call it holding and healing, this card, because it's like where something was lost, where something was lacking, where something was void, or at least we felt it was, where something was out of balance. Here comes the energy of temperance, the very karmic energy of temperance, as in of the universe, to restore everything to how it should be. And also, if there's been any sort of disagreements, differences that we've been having with another person, sometimes actual like physical differences that we feel impact our relationships, and we're not sure how we can come together. If one of us is black and one of us is white, how do we come together like this zebra and merge? How do we come together if one of us is tall and one of us is short? Can we meet somewhere in the middle? One of us is heavy and one of us is skinny. What are we going to do? One of us is a Jew and one of us is a Muslim. How's that going to work? When temperance shows up, it says that there is a way that it can work. And you know what that way is? Unconditional love. Because that's what the Six of Autumn or Pentacles is all about. Unconditional love and assistance from the universe. All right, the assistance from the universe. So it's another karmic energy, essentially, very much of the planet Venus for me. To me, this card basically embodies all of the signs which she rules, the Taurus, the Libra, the Gemini. They all converge together for this card. Now, the description on this particular card in this deck is largely about finances, but it's so much larger than that, the energy of this card. It is about assistance in so many different forms of possible ways that it can come to you. But what's most important is whatever the form it takes, it is unconditional love. Right, so it's like a blessing from the heavens just falling down upon you. Whereas a lot of the other cards can be representative of things that are abundance that's due to us, that's coming to us, but we have to work for it. We have to put some effort forth for it. The Six of Autumn tends to mean you've already done that. Right, you've already put positive energy out into the world, and so that's for what you're being repaid. It's like a pay it forward kind of card. Your success and prosperity have allowed you to pay off debts and acquire wise loans, or to receive a grant or a scholarship. In return for heaven's blessings, be sure to share the wealth with others through donations of time or money to reputable charities. Yes, if you actually get some sort of tangible blessing that you're able to split up in any kind of way, share, you are definitely encouraged to do that to keep the cycle going. And I often describe Major Arcana card Temperance, it equals 5. I tend to use like a $5. If I drop $5 here and I lose it, I keep walking, and you come up behind me and you find it, That's your $5 that maybe is recompense for something that you lost in the past. Now I'm out, right? So I'm out of balance. But if I've put the right energy into the world, then when I walk into Starbucks in a few minutes and I go to buy my coffee, I look for that $5, somebody else pays for it or has already paid for it. They say, hey, pay for the next customer, because a lot of people do that. They pay it forward when they make a purchase. And so my coffee is paid for. So did I get my $5 physically back? No, but I got my $5 back anyway. I was made whole by the energy of temperance. So that's what I see coming for you guys. And yes, maybe that is scary. And that's why the 8 of winter is the overall energy here, or like the focus. It's so easy to convince yourself that you're trapped when you really aren't. Trust that God will lift you to new heights and give you a greater sense of self-confidence if you first affirm your freedom. So if you can release yourself from that fear, and then there's no stopping you, basically, that this abundance can come in. Now I understand from where the fear comes. It's probably attached to this energy that of the moon, which is the overall energy in this Rider-Waite deck that I have here for you. Major Arcana card 18, the moon represents the sign of Pisces and the planet Neptune, which is its ruler. It could be other water signs too. Maybe you're involved with a water sign. With this card in particular, I usually say Pisces and then Scorpio and then Cancer in that order. But otherwise, as it relates to the tarot, I tend to say Pisces and then Cancer, because Earth's actual moon, is the ruler of the sign of Cancer. So to me, that should come before. But when I'm using this particular deck, because of this lobster here, that reminds me of a scorpion, I tend to go to the Scorpio route. Some of you may be dealing with a water sign, but that's neither here nor there really, because what I'm getting from this card most is that because you don't know everything, that's why you're afraid of the future. Because you don't have all the answers, you don't know exactly what's in front of you. It's like walking in the dark. Some of us would have no fear walking in the dark and no worry about what we're going to step into, and some people will be frozen in place, until you can turn a light on and they can see what's in front of them. They're not going to take a step. And that's what's going on here with this 8 of winter. All right. So why, or what are we going to do about it? Or what else is going on here? So the card that most directly represents your energy, or your focus over the next 2 weeks is the Queen of Swords in reverse. The Queen of Swords in reverse showed up for many other signs. It's been moving all over the place. It's been the overall energy. It's been in the position of love and relationships for a number of signs, as well as in the love reading that I did for the entire collective. It was there also. I think it may have been here for another sign too, where yours is located. In any case, the Queen of Swords in reverse can be about a few different things. So for one thing, you or somebody close to you may be dealing with some sort of health issue right now. Maybe you've been feeling something. It may involve your memory. Like you feel like your memory just hasn't been, what it used to be. Or you're experiencing some other sort of health issue. It is important, if you are already diagnosed with something and you have medication. Like I said, this could be somebody close to you too. Maybe a mother or somebody older, a mother figure, or older sibling or something. Your wife, I don't know. If you're already prescribed medication, or the person is already prescribed medication, it's very important that they take the medication, or you take your medication as it's prescribed, like every day or whatever. Like somebody's missing medicine and we've got to correct that. For people who don't yet have a diagnosis, those sort of things that you're feeling, that you've been noticing going on with you, and yeah, it is often memory related or something, or like thought related, as it relates to the Queen of Swords, because that's what swords or air is all about, right? Thoughts, words, ideas. It's very important that not only you seek a health professional, but that you're very honest with them and open with them about exactly what you're experiencing so they can help you. In addition to that, the Queen of Swords, as it relates to, let's say like finances, it's sitting here in the position above the finances and work area. There could be mistakes showing up in like your bills, your statements, receipts. Somebody rung something up. It's going to cost you. If you are in a job where you have to work with figures, or you're doing a cash register or something, just be extra careful during this period that, your register doesn't come up short, or something. But most people are going to be on the other side of it, where you could benefit from finding a mistake. So like pay attention to the details and stuff. And the Queen of Swords in reverse shows up. There's often like mistakes in, different types of records and bills and whatnot, so they put a 0 in the wrong place or whatever, and it would be in their favor. Like, you would end up out of money. But if you discover it, then of course it's in your favor and you get something back. Also, as it relates to love and in your position of love and relationship, you have this 8 of Wands upright. 8 of Wands can be about communication. So some sort of communication coming in. Again, the Queen of Swords is all about communication too. She is a Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius, or someone likened to those traits or attributes. If she's a direct, she might be a direct air sign that you're dealing with, if this is not, wholly representative of your own energy. And again, the air signs are about communication. And so there's a communication that's coming in to you or going out from you. It needs to be very clear. You got to say what you mean what you say. And when other people are talking to you, you want to make sure that you take the time to listen to their perspective. Not just like you're sitting there and you're hearing words or you're talking at each other. It's very important when the Queen of Swords shows up in reverse to listen to the other person's perspective, especially if you're interested in resolving an issue. In addition to that, when the moon shows up as it relates to love, it's a really easy time to like misunderstand each other and for one person to pop off, which is a really, really bad idea if you don't have actual facts like going on. This is not the time, the period to be going off on presumptions or assumptions. Only if you have facts should you be trying to confront anyone, if at all. Okay. Also, for the Queen of Swords, as it relates to love, sometimes your memory of a situation that occurred, an argument, a debate, an experience that you shared together, you don't have the same recollection of it. You don't have the same memory of it. It's like, so somebody could be harboring feelings about it, and they feel some type of way. Maybe you don't understand or realize that they feel some type of way because you don't remember it the way they do. So, until you talk about it, that's not going to become clear. Or, you could be the person that feels some sort of way about it and you have no idea, and the other person has no idea that you're like upset with them because they remember it different, Now, I'm like a super Queen of Swords. I mean, I'm a literal Queen of Swords, but being a Gemini sun and an Aquarius moon, and then having a ton of other Gemini and Aquarius all up and through my chart. But I'm very much a Queen of Swords in this regard. Like I'm always saying, like, dude, don't try to change the story. I was there. But when this card shows up, it's important to not be like that so much and to really, like I said, take the chance and the opportunity to hear each other out in a very genuine way. And again, to speak to communicate in an effective manner by saying what you mean, meaning what you say, not beating around the bush. Details are very important when the Queen of Swords is in reverse. Now, the other cards that you have with regard to love, the energy that's surrounding you is the Hierophant in reverse. And your work and finance placement is the 3 of Wands upright. And again, specifically in the position of love and relationship is the 8 of Wands upright. But all of these cards, they each have a meaning that basically says you're probably going along well in the relationship. But like, for example, the 3 of Wands, it says that if things are, unequal, like I just talked about equity, right? And balance as it relates to temperance, and the temperance restores that, or it comes to restore that, to help you with that. But if you're feeling imbalanced, 6 of Autumn is also all about that, right? It's about the ability to both give and receive love, and allowing love to pass both ways. It has to be able to do that. If that's not happening, then the 3 of Wands, it's probably not such a good omen as it relates to love. It might mean that it's time for you to part ways, and maybe that's why you're feeling stuck, because you're feeling like, I already voiced my opinion, I was already clear about this. Because that's important too. I didn't mean to leave that part out. Give your partner a chance, or have them give you a chance, if you're able to communicate what the problem is. And I mean, praise too. If you want to talk about praise too, that has to be clear also. And if there are changes that are warranted or needed based on those conversations that don't happen, then it may be time to walk away. So some people maybe they already tried speaking to their partner or their love interest or whatever it is. They already tried to resolve the issues between them, and nothing's still happening. Maybe they gave them some sort of ultimatum, or that they've been saying, hey, the clock is ticking. I've been waiting X amount of days, months, years, whatever it is. What are we going to do? And there's been no response. Then it might be time to walk away. So that could be another reason why the Eight of Winter is showing up and why somebody is feeling stuck. But again, with the Nine of Cups behind it and all these other very positive energies behind it, I have to say that there's either a way to rectify this relationship that you're in, or a new relationship forthcoming. Now, of course, for those who are single, there's a different meaning for this card. The single people, when the Three of Wands shows up, if you've recently met somebody, or if you meet somebody during this period in the near future, know that that person is not bullshitting you when they tell you how they feel about you or their attraction to you. They hold you in extremely high regard, high esteem, and really respect you. Okay? Respect you, respect what you have to say, your opinions and all of that. They value you. If you're single and you haven't been able to meet anybody and you're wondering like, well, what's wrong with me? It's probably that you're putting too much emphasis into work and finance. So you are out of balance, right? It's you who is out of balance. And so you need to work on, some time to be social, some time to nurture yourself. All work and no play makes Jack a dull boy, Jill a dull girl, right? So that's the boring rut that you've fallen into. You can get yourself out of that. You're not stuck. All right. You're not stuck there. So that's the good news that might be represented by the Nine of Cups in that instance for you. Similarly, the Eight of Wands upright, in addition to being about communication, specifically as it relates to love, can mean that you're probably ready for a commitment, or your partner is ready for a commitment. Like one of you is ready and one of you is not. Probably. And it just doesn't seem to be coming. Again, like I just said with this, like you're waiting and you voiced your opinion already, then might be time to walk. If you're waiting and you haven't said anything, you haven't tried to talk about it, then it's time for you guys to sit down and talk, and see what can happen. Maybe once you're open and honest with each other, and maybe you share the reasons why you're not ready, or they share the reasons with you why you're not ready, because that's the information that you're missing. Right? Maybe when you have that information, you'll be more understanding of what the situation is, or they with you. And so you'll be able to get past it. Because it's not a good time to try to push somebody who's not ready for something into something. And if you do that, it'll come back and bite you in the ass later. So you'll regret it later. And the person will probably, resent you in some way, and, down the line you're get into something and they'll be like, well, you forced me to into this commitment, or to marry you, or whatever it is, and that's so not worth it. So if you decide to stay with them but just fall back, and this is just a reading for 2 weeks, so it could be after 2 weeks we move beyond this energy of confusion and the unknown, and more information is out, and then you can really, have a real conversation, or you can make plans to move forward, or whatever it is. Right now, during this period, with the moon showing up here, with the Hierophant in reverse, with the Eight of Wands upright in your position of love and romance, it's not a good time to be trying to, certainly not to be trying to force anything. So maybe you can find some sort of distraction, something else that you can work on, focus on, maybe yourself in the meantime. Rather than, trying to push this love. Again, for people who are single, as it relates to the Eight of Wands, now the story is different for you. This for you, all you got to do is get out there. Maybe in your you know, some unusual haunts for you, as they say, like maybe not necessarily where you usually hang out, like you do some different stuff. You might meet somebody, but you can meet somebody probably in the places you like to go to. So, but be prepared if you go somewhere different or you're doing something different, and all of a sudden you meet somebody in these places. You know, I don't know, you go bowling, for example, and that's not something that you normally do. And, you know, you meet the guy or the girl in the alley next to you, you know, the lane next to you. They start talking, and the next thing you know, hit it off. So it's a very unexpected sort of thing that can come about with the Eight of Wands. Of course, with the energy of the Queen of Swords, there can also be some sort of online, specifically communication. Maybe you get into online dating, you try it for the first time or something like that. And you can have success in that area too. So what I've been doing for all the signs thus far is further clarifying the card that they have in this position of love and romance, regardless of what the card is. You know, even if it's like the most wonderful card, you know, the Lovers or the Four of Wands, I've still been pulling 3 additional cards to see, you know, okay, I've been calling it the, like, now that we found love, what are we going to do with it segment, just to give us additional information. So I'm going to do that now for you guys. And the way I've been doing it is just by taking this deck, showing you that here it is upright. And I've been pulling the next 3 upright cards. So there's your first one. There's your second one. There's your third one. Oh, it's pretty easy for you. For some of the signs, I had to keep like digging and digging. Very nice. So again, for those of you who are interested in meeting somebody or interested in rectifying a situation, there's room for that. Now, the Princess of Summer also represents the sign of Pisces. So that can be another reason why this Princess of Summer or Page of Cups is showing up. This is a Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio, or someone likened to those traits or attributes. Perhaps they are younger than you. What do I do with Temperance? Because of this, that may be the difference that you guys have. Maybe, you know, one is a queen and one is a page. Well, not that bad, but, you know, one is younger. Okay, nothing illegal. And so that's been one of the differences, but you can find a way to, again, to talk that out and hash that out if you're, you know, both interested in doing that. The Princess of Summer or Page of Cups is sensitive, kind, open-hearted, and inexperienced. So it's a very innocent energy. It's about offers. So it could be about a date. Again, something with somebody inviting you out somewhere. It's something that makes you emotionally happy, puts a smile on your face. It could be communication. The phone rings, you get a text and you smile. All of that connected to the energy of the Page of Cups. You can expect to kindle a new romantic relationship or a close platonic friendship. You may suddenly receive an emotional message from someone or be invited to a social event. So I said news coming in or going out from you. That could absolutely be connected to the Princess of Summer or Page of Cups. So again, it'll be news, the communication, something that puts a smile on faces. We're happy to have received this communication. I'm happy that you want to try to work through our differences. I'm happy that you're interested in going out with me. You know, whatever it is. Also, you guys got another Hierophant. Major Arcana card 5. It's called Unity in this deck, but it is Major Arcana card 5, just like this. Okay, so that's the Hierophant, represents the sign of Taurus. Maybe a Taurus or other earth sign is particularly significant here too. Embrace this time of deep spiritual growth. You may feel called to act as a mentor, to find a new teacher, or to spend time with others who are also on a sacred path. So this could mean either, this could fit into any of the things that I described before. So for example, if you've talked everything out and it just seems like no way for us to ever come together, we're never going to be on the same page, you're never going to be interested in, you know, becoming more committed like I am, which the Hierophant can definitely represent, right? Commitments, contracts. Then the other meaning for the Hierophant possibly kicks in. For me, it's about the need to make adjustments to the people, places, and things with which we surround ourselves. That can include our love interests, right? Remember I said some people might decide they need to walk away. So that's a possibility too. And even, again, where that happens, there's still something good, you know, a replacement, a walk-in or something not far behind for you. Somebody who's going to be on the same page. And that's what the Hierophant is about too. Finding people or aligning ourselves with people who match our vibration or have a vibration that's higher than our own, from which we can learn something, right? So that may be also having to do with changing the places where you hang out. Maybe you're single and all of a sudden you decide you're going to the local, herb store, because now you're spiritual, right? You're going to an herb store. You're going to some sort of seminar or workshop on manifestation or energy healing, Reiki or something, and you meet somebody else who's also now on a spiritual path. That can definitely be what that means too. And so that comes together for you. And here's the Prince of Spring, or the Knight of Wands, to, additionally bring you the opportunity. And this is your energy too, right? As a fire sign. This is your energy as well as that of Leo and Sagittarius. So either one of those, another, could be significant too. In addition to yourself, you could be dealing with another fire sign, another Aries or a Leo or a Sag. The Prince of Spring is passionate, charismatic, confident, and restless. An opportunity arises that needs your attention right away. Moving quickly is important, yet there's nothing that you can't handle if you follow your own inner guidance. So, yeah. I agree with that advice. Listen to your heart. Listen to, what your body's telling you. Maybe butterflies in your stomach or a sinking feeling, in your gut. Maybe your left eye twitches when something's going on. You know what I mean? Pay attention to it all. Also, these cards can mean, particularly the Queen of Swords in reverse and in this placement, can mean that you're going to be seeing over the next, coming days, a lot of signs, synchronicities, and things that are trying to give you messages. So pay attention to that too. I hope you guys have enjoyed the reading and or found it helpful. If you did in either case, please give it a thumbs up, a like. Also, if you are not yet a subscriber, please do also consider subscribing to the channel by hitting both the subscribe button and the bell button in hopes that you will actually receive your notifications. Not everybody does, even when they hit all those buttons. And if you would like a private reading or energy healing or merchandise or just to chat, connect, social media, IG, Facebook, Twitter, all of these information to do any and all of those things will be in the description box below the video. Thanks again. Namaste.